Tonight's presentation of colors is presented by the Brennett High School Color Guard. Singing the Star-Spangled Banner for us tonight is an 11th grade student from Marshall Law and Medical Services High School, Michaela Alvarado.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to the Junior Achievement 2022 San Antonio Business Hall of Fame. Since 1991, the Alamo City's most successful men and women have been honored and celebrated for their business achievements and inducted into the Junior Achievement San Antonio Business Hall of Fame. Many are with us this evening. Please welcome these remarkable business and community leaders. Inducted 1998, Rosemary Kowalski. Inducted 2004, Tress Clayburg. Inducted 2005, Bruce Floor. Inducted in 2007, Judge Nelson and Tracy Wolf. Inducted 2008, Carlos Alvarez. Inducted 2009, Sam Dawson. Inducted 2013, Jimmy Haslocker. Inducted 2013, Ed Kelly. Inducted in 2015, Jamie Barrera. Inducted 2019, Jalen LeBlanc Jameson. And inducted 2020, Brad Barron. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm in-person congratulations to the 2020 laureate inducted virtually into the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame, Mr. Brad Barron, New Star Energy. And Charlie Amato and Gary Dudley will be introduced. Let's welcome tonight's presenting sponsor, co-founder of SWBC and 2006 inductees into the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame, Mr. Charlie Amato and Mr. Jerry Dudley.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you, all of you, for being here tonight. You know, last year, You know, we had to sit home on our computer and watch this, and I drank 1 glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine. It's not the same. It's so good to have all of you here tonight. We appreciate all of you coming here tonight. It's a big deal. And it's great to celebrate in person, and we truly appreciate all of you again supporting this event. SWBC is once again honored to be the 2022 presenting sponsor of the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame. Tonight we celebrate 3 laureates, and our first one has COVID. Mary Rose Brown with New Star Energy. Let's give her a hand. We hear her son is going to be here. I think that's what I've been told. There he is. The guy's about 7 feet tall. Mary Rose had large, big, tall children, and they're great people. And then we have Walter Embrey, a very good friend of mine of the Embrey companies. And Sheryl Sculley. Where is Sheryl? Got it, she's Sheryl. Here she is. She was our city manager from 2005, 2019, and what a wonderful job she did. I chaired the chamber and did a lot of work with Sheryl. We brought the marathon to town, brought the Rock and Roll Marathon. We worked together on that, and she's been a tremendous leader, and our bond rating was unbelievable. I normally wouldn't say that, but now I'm in the bond writing underwriting business, so what the hell. But Cheryl's a wonderful person, and thank you very much. And we appreciate everything. Now, each year, Junior Achievement selects esteemed leaders and based on their demonstration of community involvement and business excellence, courageous thinking and action, vision and innovation, integrity, inspiring leadership and community involvement. And we really appreciate y'all being here tonight because you've earned every second of it, every minute of it. And we welcome you to the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame family. Little commercial there, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, I got to follow Charlie Amato. I'll tell you guys what, this is a great night. It's good to see this many people here. Charlie and I are thrilled to be the presenter tonight. 3 of the really phenomenal people we're giving awards to. Each laureate success in business and personal commitment has moved the greater San Antonio community in better, stronger direction. Each one of these guys have done so much for the city of San Antonio. We really appreciate everything they've done. One of the things that we worked on with the Junior Achievement is education and financial literacy, which Charlie and I are heavily involved in. We love that aspect of it. One of the other things that I love the most is watching our little young people present and come up on the stage and give presentations about our 3 laureates. It's amazing. So we look forward to that later on tonight. SWBC has a long history with Junior Achievement. Is David Horn here? Where is he?
Where's David? He's over
Where is David?
He's in the retirement section.
David Horn's in the retirement section. He's with Charlie and I for many, many years. He was been on the board of directors, and we really appreciate him for all of his effort that he's given for the Junior Achievement. Over the years, some of our executives have worked real hard for them. Finance Park has been one of the biggest achievements that Junior Achievement has done for many years. I personally love that because they bring these junior high and high school kids in, and they get to I don't know if any of you have seen it before, but you need to go see it. They pick out a card, and it gives them an age and a number of children that they might have and their annual income. If you guys would look at that and go by and visit it, it's amazing because they get to kind of develop a budget, if you will. And so many of those kids will sit there and go, I didn't know a pair of tennis shoes cost that much, or I knew how much they cost, but look what it's done to my income. I can't afford a car. They all want a Corvette. They want a fancy car. And then they have 2 kids on this piece of paper, and they go, I can't afford that. Go watch that and volunteer for the Finance Park. It's an amazing project by the Junior Achievement. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. Following Charlie kind of got me a little tongue-tied up here tonight. Charlie said 3/4 of what I wanted to say, as usual. But Charlie and I really want to let you know that tonight's a special night, and we're so thrilled to have all of y'all here. And I'd like for everybody to give an applause for all of you that work and help Junior Achievement. Let's all have a good time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, please welcome our Master of Ceremonies for the evening, Mr. Randy Beamer.
How are you tonight? How are you tonight? Come on, you're not online here. You can go ahead and yell. And I know Nelson's been here and the bar's open for a while. Where's Nelson? How are you tonight? Scotch. Want to thank you for joining us. First of all, I want to thank Charlie and Gary. And their awesome commitment. 41 years in San Antonio, what they've done. And where I wish, as good as they were out here on stage, I wish you could have been backstage and heard them, because we would have had to bleep everything out. But they are still like their kids, and I just found this out. They were born 6 days apart, yet somehow they are still twins. It's very odd, but they've been working together forever, and we thank you for what you do in San Antonio. Quite an honor to welcome you again tonight as we honor these outstanding business leaders here. Always a joy to watch the parade, and we told Nelson it was a parade for him, of the past award winners, and they truly represent San Antonio's most esteemed business and community leaders whose excellence, vision, leadership, innovation, community-mindedness have contributed to making San Antonio such a part of what it is today. SWBC. I think somebody wrote that in here, SWBC. Tonight, 3 more, it's a tough room here. Charlie. Get them riled up here, okay? 3 more business leaders inducted, and as we are going to celebrate their amazing lives and journeys, we're going to hear about their successes, their obstacles, also how they overcame them to get where we are, which brings me, make sure you pay attention to the very beginning of each video, because you won't recognize some of the people from what they looked like as kids. Sheryl, Sculley. And we should be, watch, you'll thank me. We want to be inspired by their great leadership, their creativity, their entrepreneurial spirit, their generosity, community leadership, and their commitment to shaping and inspiring the lives of tomorrow's generation, and that is our children. JA's mission is to inspire and prepare the young people to succeed in the global economy, and during the past 2 years, it has been so important, never more vital than today, to fulfill the purpose of empowering the next generation of business leaders with the knowledge and with the skills that they need to own their economic success, to plan. By the way, you can go ahead and eat right now. If you've gotten something in front of you, go ahead and eat and drink and talk amongst yourselves, because we know that's why you're here. And I work on TV still, so I'm used to that. KLRN, 7 o'clock, PBS San Antonio. KLRN. We want to make sure that they have the skills they need to ensure their own economic success, to plan for the future, and to make smart academic and economic choices. And our next presenters are truly dedicated to JA's mission and to prepare San Antonio and South Texas youth to succeed. Please welcome Mr. Craig Boyan, President of HEB and Chairman of the Board of Directors for Junior Achievement, and Mrs. Janie Cook, President of Junior Achievement of South Texas. Craig and Janie!
Thank you, Randy. Evening. So good to be back together in person, isn't it? Yay. And you look so great in your tuxes and your dresses. It's just how I remembered you. On behalf of HEB and Junior Achievement, thank you for being here and for supporting Junior Achievement. And I'd like to express my special thanks to Charlie and Gary, Debbie Marino, and all the folks at SWBC for being our presenting sponsors. They really do so much in this community and represent the best of San Antonio, so thank you all. Thank you all. And I'd like to congratulate this incredible Hall of Fame honoree list. What a lineup of rock stars we're honoring tonight. Wow. And isn't it great that the majority of people we're honoring tonight are super impressive women here in San Antonio? Thank you. Walter, you're pretty great too. For those of you who haven't been to this event before, or you can't remember anything pre-pandemic, you'll see that the best part of this event is that we put kids first at JA. And you're going to see that firsthand tonight, like our singer earlier, and we're going to have some great JA kids announce each of our laureates this evening. And I guarantee that they will win your hearts and give you great hope for the future. It's what JA does best, is inspiring kids and helping them prepare for their future. We work with schools around the state and teach financial literacy and life skills to kids all across South Texas. And tonight you'll see why we're so proud to be supporters of JA. Given that all that families and kids have been through during the pandemic, it's such an important time to help kids prepare for their future. Learn how to budget, learn how to practice starting a company, learn about the businesses in the community and possible careers for their future. And reinforcing how valuable this is, JA was just nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Really, like crazy. No kidding. Janie is a Nobel Peace Prize nominee. That is so exciting. Organizations are rarely nominated, fingers crossed, but it's a great testament to what Janie and her staff do here for kids every single day. I am honored to work with her and our great staff. I've admired how she's led this organization. And so thank you all for being here. Thank you to Janie. Thank you to our JA staff. Have a good evening. Thank you all.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening. Let me just clarify, Janie is not nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. That's an inside joke, but Junior Achievement Worldwide is nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, so that part is true. So welcome, and just like our esteemed laureates, young people need adults in their lives to inspire and empower them to reach their dreams. JA volunteers give our young people the gift of hope, inspiration, understanding, and a pathway to their future. Bringing the real world into the classroom, students' horizons are broadened, they think in new ways, and they're motivated to succeed. Research shows again and again that JA alumni have higher levels of educational attainment, career satisfaction, financial capability, entrepreneurial activity, and household income than the general public. And half of JA alumni end up working in the same field as their volunteer. And they're twice as likely to have started a business as an adult. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, honoring and celebrating today's and tomorrow's business leaders of San Antonio.
To deliver tonight's invocation is a first-grade junior achievement student from Carlos Kuhn Elementary School, Kristen Rose.
Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for your blessings and for gathering all of us together this evening. We give thanks to the remarkable laureates who have made a lasting impact on our community and have paved the way for future generations. Thank you, Junior Achievement Board, staff, and volunteers who work hard to elevate empower, and educate local students to achieve their dreams. Finally, bless this meal and conversation shared that will make this evening memorable. In your name we pray. Amen. Please enjoy your dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Junior Achievement of South Texas board member and volunteer, Mr. Parker Hensley from Embrey Bank.
Junior Achievement's mission is to inspire and prepare youth to succeed in a global economy. Good evening. I'm Parker Hensley, and I'm a member of the Junior Achievement of South Texas Board of Directors. 7 years ago, I began my journey with Junior Achievement through volunteering at Finance Park. Today, my involvement in JA continues at both the board level and as a volunteer. In fact, I was in one of our local high schools yesterday morning teaching our JA Career Success curriculum. And let me tell you, I am much more nervous teaching high school students than speaking in front of y'all this evening. For those who have experienced high school teenagers, you know what I mean. Today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. We must empower them with the knowledge, skills, and confidence to navigate their future, drive our economy, and lead our businesses. Connecting with our students through JA programs has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I believe that JA programs and volunteers have a lasting impact on students that continue well past their education years. Education is the great equalizer in the world of opportunity. And JA's proven programs centered around financial literacy and career readiness not only improve the lives of our students, but also those of their families, our city, and our world. That is why I support Junior Achievement. Tonight, I ask each of you to consider how you can support our mission to inspire and prepare today's youth to succeed in a global economy. You can support the JA mission through the 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. Please consider sharing your time and talent by volunteering in one of our many JA programs. We have several programs with various time commitments that meet almost any schedule. I can promise you, in my case, that you will get just as much out of volunteering that our students will get out of the curriculum and hearing your experiences. The third way you can support Junior Achievement is through treasure. And so I would ask that you consider giving a gift to JA. You will find giving forms placed on your tables. You may make a gift by utilizing the QR code for the tech savvy on the form, or by completing the form and turning it in at the back of the ballrooms this evening. For just $50, you can provide a student the opportunity to participate in the JA program. Your gift will be a vital investment in the lives of the over 36,000 South Texas students we will impact this year. You may deposit your giving card in the baskets located at the back of the ballroom as you depart tonight's celebration. JA staff members will be there to assist and answer any questions. If you wish to volunteer, and I do urge you to volunteer, it is very fun, and you will get a lot out of it, just as much as the students. Please also see one of our JA staff members, or reach out to any of the JA board members that are listed on your program. We can assist you in connecting with the volunteer team. Thank you again for your support of Junior Achievement, and I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight's program.
Let's welcome back to the stage tonight's MC, Randy Beamer.
Are y'all having a good time? How's the food? Well, we want to thank them here at the Marriott Rivercenter, and please keep eating. But I do want to mention, and I hope anybody make any good business deals out there? Any contacts? Did you learn anything in Junior Achievement when you were kids to make those Senior Achievement deals? We want to mention that while we are here to recognize tomorrow's business leaders, we want to thank those who are supporting Junior Achievement tonight as sponsors. And do we have any sponsors here? We'll see. Oh, geez. I'm going to read some names and let's see if you're with these groups. We want to thank the sponsors. As mentioned earlier, I think this will get a hand. Our presenting sponsor this evening is SWBC. I'm disappointed, Charlie. SWBC? No pity applause. The platinum sponsors, Embrey. Okay, now we're getting there. HEB. New Star Energy. And in the lead right now, we have New Star Energy, the Gambrinus Company. Quite fitting, the Gambrinus Company, the Greehey Family Foundation. Weren't you the same people that... Mary Rose Brown. Marathon Petroleum. Sheryl and Mike Sculley. Okay. USAA. My daughter and son-in-law, thank you, they work there. Valero. And the silver sponsors are Cap Trust and PNC. Woo, that was our bronze sponsors tonight: Deloitte, Ernst & Young, Frostbank, Hasslocker Enterprises, Holt Cat, Jarris. Could you check that table, please? Jarris General Contractors, the San Antonio Area Foundation, Security Service Federal Credit Union, Silver Eagle Beverages, again, quite fitting, Zachary Corporation, a surprise, and our beautiful Crystal Eagle Award. The sponsor is Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. I want to thank all of tonight's sponsors, and thank you all for playing along. And now Junior Achievement also benefits from the dedicated leadership of its board of directors, and right now we'd like to acknowledge those Junior Achievement of South Texas board of directors, current and former board of directors members. If you could please stand and be recognized. These are your dedicated community leaders. They have enabled Junior Achievement to reach more than 1 million students over 32 years. Please give them a big round of applause, and thank you for standing. Junior Achievement's volunteers also at the heart of this mission, as JA volunteers encourage and inspire students to dream and to make those dreams a reality. And those of you who have volunteered for Junior Achievement in the classroom know what an incredibly rewarding experience it is. So if you have volunteered for JA in the past ever, please stand so we can recognize you for making a difference in the lives of kids here in South Texas. All the volunteers. And they are always encouraging more. So if any of you haven't, please consider volunteering for JA. And now it is time for the moment we have all been waiting for. And to help me introduce the newest members of the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame, I looked far and wide, and I recruited a team of very seasoned experts in junior achievement, very talented JA students to assist me. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome tonight's first co-presenter, Olivia Bustamante, a 5th grade junior achievement student from Wernley Elementary School. Please welcome Olivia Bustamante.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Beamer.
Good evening, Olivia. Do you need some help carrying the bag?
No, thank you, Mr. Beamer. Although it may look like a heavy load, I'm used to it.
Well, it sure does look heavy. So what is that, your JA Achievement, the classroom bag? And what's it say there? Vice President of everything?
Yep, that's me.
Well, I kind of like it. So what do you have in that bag of yours?
Here's a box of Girl Scout cookies. I've been known to sell a box or two. Not sure if you've heard, but I'm quite the fundraiser.
Well, those are very nice. One of my favorites. And although I'm not supposed to eat, as many as I used to.
I understand. This is one of my most cherished items, a photo of my family. They're like my heart. I carry them everywhere I go.
That is nice of you, and that's a nice looking family as well. So, do you have anything else in there? I'm interested.
Now what's this doing in here? This is my apron that I've used to prepare my family's Thanksgiving meals.
You prepare your family's Thanksgiving meals. That is very impressive. So, maybe do you have, room for one more at the table?
Absolutely. There's always room at my table.
And you have so much in that bag. I'm guessing you're quite a busy young lady.
I sure am. My JA volunteer encouraged me to choose a career I love the most and give 1,000%. One of tonight's laureates, Mary Rose Brown, exemplifies choosing a career she loves. She also spends lots of time giving back to the San Antonio community. Sorry to cut it short. That's my last chance mass reminder.
I'm sorry, that's your what?
My last chance mass reminder.
Born and raised in the shadows of Hemisphere, Mary Rose Brown attended St. Cecilia's Catholic School. She experienced a traditional childhood with church, school festivals, Girl Scouts, and lots of fun. A graduate of Lee High School, Mary Rose was a member of the Rebel Rousers dance team. Mary Rose's life changed significantly when her mother was diagnosed with cancer while she was in high school, and subsequently passed away her freshman year at Texas State University, resulting in an increase in her faith and resourcefulness. As a Texas State strutter with plans to be an English teacher and dance team sponsor, her journey changed course after taking some public relation classes. Mary Rose found her passion and changed her major to PR. Mary Rose's role as a fundraiser began as a young girl selling Girl Scout cookies. It continued at Texas State as Alpha Delta Pi's Vice President of Philanthropy and Community Outreach. Little did she know this would be her first VP role of many to come. Mary Rose's outgoing personality, enthusiasm, passionate spirit, and love of interacting with people would serve her well in her future career.
She is incredible in that she can relate both to the business community and the nonprofit sector. And that is not an easy thing to do. Of course, who do I call on to help but Mary Rose Brown?
Mary Rose's early business career flourished during her time at one of the most successful public relations and marketing firms, the Atkins Agency. She spent countless hours working on the Alamo Dome campaign, the Drug Summit, downtown New Year's Eve celebrations, SeaWorld, and Pope John Paul's visit. Her expertise in public relations led her to managing campaigns for Valero, the city of San Antonio, Ernst & Young, and the Hard Rock Cafe, just to name a few. She managed a successful career, all while fulfilling her most important role, being a mother to her 3 children, Taylor, Garrett, and Kirsten. Mary Rose successfully integrated her family life and career, often bringing her children to work with her, answering media calls around the clock.
She has 3 children that she raised by herself as a single mom and did such an amazing job with the kids.
After the patient urgings of Mr. Bill Greehey and her daughter's entrance into kindergarten, Mary Rose joined Valero as Vice President of Public Relations. She was later promoted to Vice President of Corporate Communications and was instrumental in growing Valero from a regional company to the largest petroleum refining and marketing company in North America. In 2007, Mary Rose transferred to New Star Energy and currently serves as their Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer. Mary Rose oversees numerous departments and has been influential in leading their efforts in establishing New Star Energy's commitment to safety, environmental excellence, and community service. She's played a major role in the establishment of a work culture where employees are their #1 asset and encouraged to give back to the community. New Star has been ranked on Fortune's list of the 100 best companies to work for 12 times and as a top employer by the San Antonio Express News and Texas Monthly Magazine.
Mary Rose has had a successful business career, being the top executive of 2 Fortune 1000 companies, which it's rare to see women achieve that kind of position in corporate America today.
When you think of Mary Rose, her passionate leadership and countless volunteer hours have made a significant impact on the San Antonio community. It is Mary Rose's commitment to serving the less fortunate for which she's most known, respected, and loved. Whether it involves fundraising, planning, or physical labor, Mary Rose's efforts have contributed to the success of organizations such as Haven for Hope, the Smart Start program, the United Way, Girl Scouts, the Tricentennial, Valero Texas Open, the library, and Convention Center expansion. She is considered the unsung leader of the Skirt Mafia, an organization comprised of women dedicated to making good things happen in San Antonio and an active participant of the Women in the World delegation. She also serves on several nonprofit boards and has been the recipient of many honors.
She helped organize something called the Skirt Mafia. It's organizing women in the community to get things done on a quick basis so we can send out an email quickly when there's an emergency need.
Working together with Bill Greehey to raise $101 million for Haven for Hope, she considers herself to be so lucky to be part of all the amazing things he and others have done for the community. As a little girl on the South Side, she never fathomed she'd be a part of something so fun and able to do amazing things for San Antonio. Mary Rose's greatest treasure is her children. They've grown up to be the most wonderful, appreciative, fun people. Mary Rose is so fortunate to have had her children by her side to experience everything with her. Known as Gram Gram to her 5 grandchildren, her wish for them is for them to grow into strong, happy, healthy, hard-working, self-reliant, patriotic, God-fearing citizens, always guided by faith. Mary Rose is very grateful for having a job she loves and being able to incorporate her volunteerism, philanthropy, and passion to serve others.
All that Mary Rose has accomplished, I think what she's the most proud of is her kids and the fact how they've grown to be such great kids and great citizens.
Mary Rose considers her greatest gift in life to be blessed with amazing mentors who have guided and been by her side, beginning with her mother and father, Mr. Bill Greehey, Mayor Henry Cisneros, Josie Strauss, Mr. Atkins, Lila Cockrell, Rosemary Kowalski, Judge Wolf, and Tracy Wolf. Acknowledging that she's had an amazing life and a career that people only dream of, she attributes her success as accidental and unexpected.
The one thing I want to say about her that is so outstanding is the trust and the dependability. I could say anything to her, and of course she to me, but we trust each other and we can depend on each other to get things done.
She's successful because she's got a good soul and a beating heart that cares about our community.
And so it is for her tenacious passion, leadership, and contributions to the community that Junior Achievement is proud to induct Mary Rose Brown into the 2022 San Antonio Business Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Mary Rose Brown.
Thank you, Olivia. I'm not Mary Rose Brown. My mom is heartbroken that she couldn't be here tonight. All of you know her, so you know that nothing except COVID could keep my mother from being here. And she has COVID, of course, so. So I really would appreciate your prayers for her tonight. I mean, getting over not being here, this is really heartbreaking for her. And also that she makes a quick recovery and gets back to health, so please do pray for her tonight. All right, and with that, my mom gave me her remarks. All right, so I'm going to read for Mary Rose. Here we go. I am heartbroken. I could not be with all of you tonight, but I am sending my biggest hugs and congratulations to Walter Embrey, whom I have always admired, and to my dear friend, Sheryl Sculley, who is the ultimate powerhouse and inspiration to all. I will miss celebrating with them and being with all of you. Being inducted into the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame is something I could never have fathomed, and I am so grateful to the judges who made it possible, including Charlie Amato, Gary Dudley, Harvey Najum, Jimmy Haslocker, Janie Barrera, and Gary Joris, most of whom, out of total disclosure, are longtime best friends. It means the world to me that they thought I belonged in such a prestigious group. I am particularly sad to miss meeting Olivia. I was told the highlight of the night would be being introduced by her, and I'm sure she knocked it out of the park. She did. So my hat is off to you, Olivia, and to the folks at Junior Achievement, especially Janie Cook and Veronica Avila, who put so much effort into making tonight's event a great success, raising much needed dollars for the program's important work. And speaking of important work, I have to give a big shout out to Craig Boyan, one of my favorite people in the universe. Incredibly, Craig has served as board chair of Junior Achievement for 15 years. So thank you, Craig. You are one in a million. You heard in the video that I often refer to myself as an accidental success, and no truer words were ever spoken. I grew up on our city's south side, where 6 of us lived in a small 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. My brother and sister, Dr. Walter Kalmbach and Lisa Stone, are here tonight, and they can attest to the joys of 6 people sharing 1 bathroom. But that didn't hurt us any. We didn't know any better. As many of you know, we were raised in a big Catholic family with a lot of love and a lot of big family gatherings of marathon proportions. So we were reared to take a licking and keep on ticking, which has served me well in my career. But suffice to say that when I was growing up, I could never in my wildest dreams have imagined having the spectacular career I have had, or working with all the brilliant, dynamic, and talented people I have had the opportunity to work with. And it struck me how appropriate it is for me to be honored by an organization that focuses on mentorship, because that really is the story of my life. I have had the most incredible mentors throughout my career, starting with Chip Atkins, who gave me my start and catapulted me into a whirlwind, decades-long opportunity to support the city of San Antonio in its meteoric rise in national prominence during the 1980s and 1990s. I had the opportunity to work closely with legendary leaders like Lila Cockrell, Henry Cisneros, and Nelson Wolff, to name but a few. And of course, where would I be without all the amazing women who took me under their wings and helped me step up to all the tremendous opportunities that were laid at my feet? Certainly, chief among these legendary leaders and best friends are Tracy Wolff, Rosemary Kowalski, Harriet Helmley, Jane Macon, and Sheryl Sculley. I cannot overemphasize the impact these women have had on my career as well as my personal life, and I will always be indebted to them. San Antonio is blessed with an incredible network of women leaders who all take their philanthropic and community support cues from these leading ladies of San Antonio. And they are lovingly referred to as the Skirt Mafia. These are the women of San Antonio who, to borrow a page from the chamber, are doing what other people think just happens. I also want to thank my CEO, Brad Barron, and all the members of our executive committee and our board and my team, many of whom are here tonight. They make it possible for New Star to be at the center of all the important initiatives in our community through their unwavering support and the caring and sharing culture that Bill Greehey created. And of course, the person who has had the greatest impact on my career is the one and only Bill Greehey. He is an indomitable force for good in our community. And he not only taught me how to be a good executive, but also how to be a better person. He taught me to care more about my employees than I care about myself, to work as if everything depends upon you, and pray as if everything depends upon God, and that you're never a success until you share your success with others. And he told me that money doesn't solve problems, but get out your checkbook and keep it out to support truth, justice, and the American way. Other than that, he doesn't expect much at all. But obviously, I've had the great fortune to work for one of the greatest business, civic, and philanthropic leaders in San Antonio's history, so I couldn't help but get caught in his glow. But as I once said, recognizing me for helping him with all the great things he does is like thanking Donner and Blitzen for what Santa Claus does. Finally, I can't close without thanking my kids. Taylor, Garrett, and Kirsten. I am so very proud of them. They have all grown up to be polite, hardworking, kind, generous, and God-fearing, patriotic individuals who are now raising 5 precious grandchildren, and soon to be 6, to be just as wonderful. They are my greatest blessing, my proudest achievement, and the joy of my life. So, as you can see, I really have lived the American dream. And so many of you in this room tonight made it possible. Thank you. I love you all.
Tell your mom thanks for Mary Rose Brown, ladies and gentlemen, and Taylor. And while you're heading back to your seat, a quick question for your mom. Is it Texas State still or Southwest Texas State in her eyes? Texas State, wow. And also it says up here, what's Bill Greehey really like to work with? A miracle, wonderful, amazing, just as she wrote it for you here. That's awesome. Yes, well done. All right, my next co-presenter is an amazing young man, a 5th grade student at Wernley Elementary School, a junior achievement young man himself. Please welcome Mr. Evan Pontius. Evan Pontius.
Good evening, Mr. Beamer.
Good evening, Evan. You are looking mighty fine and sharp tonight.
Thanks. I'm trying to make a good impression.
Well, that's very impressive, but exactly who are you trying to impress?
Just look around. All my future employers are all here. I happen to know through some of my connections that they are hiring. I'm willing to wait all day in their lobby for an interview if I have to.
All day waiting for an interview. You know, I've never known anybody to do that. Do you know anybody who has?
I sure do, Mr. Walter Embrey. He was just a young fellow like me. It ended up working out for him. It's called initiative.
Sounds like you know what you're doing.
To be honest, not really, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'm a little nervous and fear I may not get the results I want. But there's nothing like fear to motivate you to take a risk. Right, Mr. Embrey?
I like your style. So what else, now that the spotlight's on him, what else would you like to tell us about Mr. Embrey?
He loves cars and might partake in a race or two. He loves outdoors and enjoys hunting and fishing too.
Sounds like he's a very busy man.
Yes, busy and driven. He is a successful entrepreneur too.
Entrepreneur. You know, I can barely pronounce that.
I learned about being an entrepreneur in my JA class. My class learned about the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Risk taker, ethical, creative, persistent, innovative, just like Mr. Embrey.
Evan sure sounds like you know what you're talking about.
To be honest, I tried. Mr. Embrey took a risk. 40 years later, his clients include some of the largest institutions in the U.S. He takes great care of his employees too. His company has been voted as one of the best places to work several times. One day, I hope to be as successful as Mr. Embrey.
I think you will.
Walter Embrey was born and raised in San Antonio and was the middle child in a family of 3 boys. He grew up in a neighborhood just north of downtown and spent his school years in the San Antonio Independent School District. Walter's father was a lieutenant in General Patton's army during World War II. His mother was the daughter of a Texas Ranger and during the war left her studies at the University of Texas to join the war effort. Growing up, she was one of 12 children and was raised by her sisters after her mother died in childbirth. These women, Walter's aunts, Ollie and Dolly, were very influential in his life. After the war, his father had a successful career as a salesman with an international company, while his mom took care of the family at home. His dad was known as Big Daddy. He was very tough, but also the life of the party, and instilled in Walter a lifelong love of the outdoors. During Walter's years at Thomas Jefferson High School, he played basketball and drove a hot rod he built with his older brother. In his 1932 Ford hot rod with a Corvette engine and at least 5 coats of paint, he could be found winning street races at Jim's Frontier Drive-In or Buddy's most weekends. Walter describes his teenage years as a scene straight from American Graffiti. At the age of 18, Walter began studying finance at UT Austin. During his freshman year, he married, became a father, and worked full-time as an assistant sergeant of arms at the Texas House of Representatives. He also worked during special sessions, organizing meetings and materials, running bills back and forth for a month, and running the state capitol hand-operated elevators.
He's been an amazing role model for Lisa, Trey, and I, and for our kids. So we have been very lucky and blessed to have Walter Embrey as our dad.
During his junior year, Walter was looking for a new job and went to interview with a well-known home builder in Austin, Texas. After waiting all day without an appointment to be interviewed, he was hired. Walter eventually earned the title of VP of Finance by learning the construction business from the ground up. Walter is thankful for the opportunities given to him and mentorship by the owner, Mr. Walter Carrington. Walter finished college in 3.5 years. By the age of 21, he was a father of 3 children, which included a set of twins. He went on to work for Jagger & Associates, Austin's largest multifamily developer, There, as executive vice president, he developed over 5,000 units. Being a father at 18, he jokes, gave him a healthy dose of fear that drove him to be successful and provide for his family. In 1974, Walter decided he wanted to start his own company and thus began the legacy of Embrey. In 1974, Embrey Partners, a vertically integrated company that develops, finances, constructs, owns, and manages commercial real estate properties, was founded in San Antonio on the principles of quality, integrity, and creativity. The company, now simply known as Embrey, completed its first commercial development in 1977 and its first multi-family project in 1978.
Walter is Embrey. It's his name, it's his stamp. There are multiple other developers and leaders in that industry that have worked for Walter and are now out in this community and others doing their own thing, making gigantic contributions.
Walter received the Entrepreneur of the Year award in 1995, but he didn't stop there. Embrey and his partners have gone on to accomplish much more. Today, after 48 years in business, Embrey has developed more than 45 million square feet of housing and commercial properties in 11 states. Along the way, Embrey also completed San Antonio's first integrated mixed-use development at the Quarry Village and was honored as one of San Antonio's best places to work in 2019 and 2020.
Walter is honorable, he's confident, he's forceful, he's fair, he listens. He walks into a room, sits down, listens to what everybody has to say. He is considerate, and he's a strategist and a visionary.
Walter is married to the lovely Gail Ryan, whom he met through a good friend, who also happens to be Gail's brother. In addition to enjoying traveling and the outdoors with Walter, Gail gives graciously of her time to many philanthropic organizations in our community. Walter shares 3 children with his first wife, Diana Richter, Lisa Embrey Nichols, Trey Embrey, and Dr. Stacy Embrey Rubin are his proudest achievements. He lovingly refers to them as his superstars. Walter is very proud of his children's success. His 7 grandchildren, who call him Papa, keep Walter very busy. He enjoys hunting, fishing, and taking family trips, creating great memories all over the country and world. His advice to his children is to always tell the truth. Surround yourself with people who are honest, truthful, and always do the right thing.
He has been an amazing father. He's old school, right? You know, do the hard work, take care of your customer, always do your best, and there's no swag, no fluff, just get the work done.
Walter is generous to the community of San Antonio through his time and treasures, particularly in the areas of education and advancing the commercial real estate industry in our area. In the early 80s, Walter helped form the San Antonio Real Estate Council, the first such council in the state. He then continued with the formation of the Founders Council. He is a founding member and former chairman of the UTSA Real Estate Finance and Development Program Founders Council and was a charter member and co-chairman of the Real Estate Finance and Investment Center at the UT Austin McCombs School of Business. In 2015, Walter donated $1 million to UTSA to form the graduate program now known as the Embrey Real Estate Finance and Development School. He is a trustee for Texas Biomed and chaired the organization's campus expansion that has helped Texas Biomed become a leading research facility in the nation. He has spent lots of time in the past working with the Whitty Museum. He was involved with the $100 million capital campaign through personal giving and bringing in additional donors. His efforts were instrumental in developing a world-class new Whitty Museum.
Walter Embrey has been a true mentor to me. I have watched him, I've learned from him. He has shaped the way I engage with people. He's so impactful.
Walter takes pride in the excellent national reputation Embrey has maintained over nearly 50 years. He he's worked hard to do the right thing. The success that he and his partners have had over the years has allowed Embrey to pass on the fruits of his labor to the wider team. Currently, Embrey is in the 97th percentile in employee compensation in the U.S., and many team members have been with the company for decades. There is never a day where he doesn't feel like coming to work.
Walter's most admirable trait is his integrity. And I have watched him over the years demonstrate that over and over again.
And so it is for his creativity, integrity, and commitment to service and quality that Junior Achievement is proud to induct Mr. Walter Embrey into the 2022 San Antonio Business Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Walter Embrey.
Good evening. What a wonderful event. I've had the good luck to attend this event many times over the years. I think I know about everyone that's on that chart up there on pictures. And so it's such an honor to be here. These kids are amazing. Is there any... Is there any doubt that these kids are going to make a difference? No. They're great. They'll make a difference in this world. I love seeing that. And that's what Junior Achievement does. They do just an incredible job. So several months ago, I got a call from two good friends, Charlie Motto and Trace Clayberg. I said, okay, if they're both calling me, I am in serious trouble. And it's going to cost me a lot of money, I know. It has to. I had no idea why they were calling. Well, what great news, what great recognition, what an honor to be here with all of you. And I'll tell you, when I first got the announcement, I realized I was so humbled to think that I was going to be on the same stage with Mary Rose Brown, who I've admired forever, and Sheryl Sculley, who's just amazing. And all I could think of, that I was going to be like a weed between two roses. Because, I mean, these are wonderful, gorgeous, incredible women. Jeez. So sorry Mary Rose couldn't be here. It'd have been a treat to see her. My wonderful family, successful family is here tonight, as though they had any choice. But I first want to thank my lovely wife, Gail. We celebrate 26 years next week, and just so you know, we're leaving for Cabo San Lucas in the morning, and we're gonna celebrate this and our anniversary at the same time. How about that? That's a two for one. Gail's, I'd love to work. I love what I do. Now, don't any of you guys over here laugh because I say I'm working, but I do spend time trying to collaborate with the guys. Not as much as I used to. I'm not in the office quite as much as I used to, but I love that, and I can do that because Gail runs everything else in her life. She does a fabulous job of setting up our social life, organizing trips all over for the whole family. 16, we had 13 in Africa 3 years ago. That was wild, really wild. And then joining me tonight, my oldest daughter, Lisa Nichols, and her husband, Mitch. Lisa's incredible, probably one of the best luxury home builders in the city, has her own business. My daughter that you saw on the screen. Now, I talked to the people that filmed this, and they said it took forever because they had to bleep a few things. So and her husband, Dr. J.Mo Rubin. And then, of course, my son, Trey, and our Southern Belle, Lynette, his wife. And they blessed us with 7 grandchildren. So all these grandparents get to just love on and spoil 7 great kids, and they go from 12 to 28. So when you have when you get married at 18, that's how you get the 28-year-old grandchild. Just in case anybody wants to look at add the numbers up. 4 of them, 5 of them are out of college. We have them in LA and New York City and in between. They're all over right now. Hopefully we'll get them back to Texas one of these days. And the good thing about all that is they all live within 2 miles of us. We're blessed, just so blessed. I'm so proud of them because I watched them succeed. All of them succeed in their own businesses and their own endeavors. And then to have them, be able to live in San Antonio near us, it's just been a blessing. I love San Antonio. I lived in Austin 10 years and went to school there. But I was just so lucky. I had, when I decided to start a company, I chose San Antonio versus Houston or Dallas or one of the other markets we built in. And that's 48 years ago, and I'm just so glad we came back here and we're able to start here. But I'm going to touch on a story they talked about, but I think it really kind of plays on why we're here with Junior Achievement. So I had numerous jobs. I was married, a parent. I was a junior at University of Texas, finance school, which is now the Macomb School. And I wanted to stay in Texas, and I was interviewing with companies that would take me all over the country, national companies, and I said I was desperate to find a career here. So a friend of mine said, look, why don't you try home building? It's local, and go talk to this company. So Evan was making a joke about this, but honestly, I showed up in the second largest home builder's office in Austin back then, big company, asked to see the owner, said, there's not a chance. You don't have an appointment. I said, well, okay, I get that. Will you mind if I just sit in the reception area? And I sat there and sat there and sat there. After about 3 hours, I said, okay, I better leave. But I really believe a little voice in my head from up above said, stay. Stay there. Stay there. I sat through lunch till 5 o'clock. Out walks Mr. Carrington, madder than a hornet. He comes over to me. He has a big cigar, and he says, who the heck are you? And, but he was mad because he hadn't been able to go to lunch because I've been sitting in his reception area all day long. But he said, get in my office. And I gave him my best spiel, 20-year-old spiel. And he said, go write, I want you to write me a report. You be back here Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning. Tell me what you've done in your miserable little life and what you think you're going to accomplish in the rest of your life. Well, I'm telling you, I worked all weekend over a little typewriter. But you know what? Here's the point. He gave me a chance. He listened to me. He heard me. He saw maybe a little promise, and he set me on my way. He gave me an unbelievable part-time job while I finished UT, full-time job when I left, unbelievable responsibilities. And it's kind of about why we're here today in a way. Junior Achievement does great work with these kids. They have a way of, I think, showing them what the opportunities could be in their life, maybe giving them some confidence, giving them the will maybe to go after those special opportunities. I think it's wonderful, and I'm so glad to be associated with it. Give me a second here. I managed to jump about 3 paragraphs. We all know in this room that none of us succeeds by ourselves. It takes a lot of luck, a lot of hard work, but mainly it also takes having a lot of really talented men and women around you to get things, make things happen. In this case, at Embrey, that now includes over 400 people currently at Embrey in Texas, and that includes 5 other states that we operate in. And I've been really blessed to have so many great partners in the last 48 years. 2 of my partners left this earth a little early, but all the folks from the Embrey know who they are, Roger Bowler and Aaron Verma, and they were there and helped us in the 80s start the expansion outside of Texas and take us to other really great places in the country. And also sitting with us tonight, get ready, Jeff, are some guys that I've relied on, some of the senior guys in our company. Jeff Booth is here, who's retired at 62 and now lives up on LBJ. He was the first Aggie we hired, but he opened the darn floodgates. So we have Aggies everywhere now. So it's a little tough for a TCEP, but Jim Gilley's here. Jim and I have known each other for 35, 40 years. Jim ran as president of our construction company, building projects all over the country. He and his beautiful wife, Stephanie, left and went to California because her in-laws, she's from there and her in-laws there, and they he worked at Irvine Ranch and ran another huge company in California. And then he moved back to Texas where his ranch is. We got him back. I knew he's going to always come back, thank God, and here he is. Jim, it's good to have you back, man. And he's now back again, president of our construction operation. Robert Hunt, who also happens to be a fraternity brother of mine, was president of our commercial operation for over 25 years, and then also did a lot of development. He opened up Nashville and some other markets for us. So he's retired now, but I get to see him quite a bit, and his lovely wife, Nancy. And then out in the audience, there's a whole nother cast of partners that are incredible. They're young. They're really young, okay? Because, of course, everybody's young to me. But they're young, and Trey's put together a whole new team of future leaders that are going to carry this company into the next generation. I'm so proud of that. And I'll tell you, I've been so blessed. I've never regretted one day being in the real estate business, and I've been through some tough times. As a matter of fact, one of my bankers is out there, and he just told me that they nominated me for this. David Palin's at Frost Bank. Are you here? Yeah, there you go. I didn't know I owed you that much money. Man, we're going to talk. Thank you, David. We love Frost Bank, and thank you for what you did. It all started 55 years ago in Austin, but I love being able to own and create these projects. We build them, we own them, we're the general partner, and then we're blessed to have some unbelievable financial partners, mostly Fortune 100, 500 companies, but also some wonderful families, San Antonio families that invest with us. And of course, great banks, both Texas banks and the national banks. So it's been quite a ride, folks. We've been through every recession in the last 48 years, and we came out without any black marks. In every case, we came out stronger than we went in. And I'm proud of that, but it wasn't me. It was all these wonderful partners that I've had over the years. And it allows me really to do what I love to do. I love San Antonio. I like to try to do things for San Antonio, show my gratitude to this city. And it also allows me to help and work with some wonderful organizations. Tater Amy's here. Tater, are you here still? Go Roadrunners. Yes, you're the man. Whitty Museum. Maurice, you're incredible. I'm telling you, you could run any organization in this city. You're just amazing. I don't know how you do it. And the Texas Biomedical Research Institute is something I love. My son-in-law, J.Mo Rubin, happens to be chairman of the board of Texas Biomedical Institute, so we both get to talk about that a lot and spend time on it. But it's just, we're blessed to be able to help in those ways. Thank you for this great honor. I really appreciate being here. Appreciate all of you. And I can't wait to see what Sheryl's going to say. Thank you.
We're just talking about his building on Broadway, and it's coming along very well, right? The other... No. I don't mind the street not being open. But I do have another question that's very important. Have you ever thought about bringing back the mustache? Because you have that TV anchor hair that I never had, but I did have a mustache back in the... Wow, you are old, but thank you. Walter Embrey, give it up he remembers when I was on TV. Although I am now on KLRN, 7 o'clock on Thursdays. I'm sorry. The young co-presenters, by the way, aren't they doing a great job tonight? Want to welcome one more. Please welcome tonight's final co-presenter, Kenley Yeoman, a 5th grade JA student from Warrenley Elementary. Kenley Yeoman!
Hi, Mr. Beamer. How are you enjoying your retirement? I really miss watching you during the evening news.
Why, thank you, Kenley. That's very nice of you. At least good to know that somebody misses me.
Of course. You look great. Hope you're enjoying your free time. There's lots to do in our great city of San Antonio.
You know, there sure is. And by the way, I noticed those are running shoes because I have ADHD. I just noticed those are running shoes. And you're a little out of breath coming in.
As a matter of fact, I just finished taking a nice evening jog around some of the outstanding running trails. San Antonio has really upped its game when it comes to improving and adding city parks.
You know, you are right, and thanks to outstanding city management, both now and in the past, outstanding city management, well, there's also a lot to do and to see in our city parks.
As a matter of fact, one of tonight's laureates played a major role in that initiative. Former city manager, Sheryl Sculley. Do you happen to know her?
I do. I have at least interviewed her a couple of times, and she didn't mind at least one of those times because she has a book out. Did you know Sheryl Sculley has a book out? There, I'm trying to promote everything. But why don't you tell us more about her?
Did you know she was responsible for bringing the Rock and Roll Marathon to San Antonio? She also ran the Boston Marathon twice.
Well, I ran the San Antonio Marathon twice, but not Boston. I'm more of kind of like a, slow evening walk kind of guy.
Sheryl Sculley exemplifies girl power at its finest. She's smart, confident, brave, courageous, poised, ethical, athletic, beautiful, has high standards, and she's a mom.
That is very impressive, Kelly. I wonder if she was a JA student.
I'm not sure, Mr. Beamer. In my JA class, we learned about the different career opportunities and the skills and education required. My JA volunteer told me I can be anything I want to be. I want to be just like Sheryl Sculley. She's done so much. Let's take a look.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, outside of Chicago, Sheryl's leadership and management experience began at a young age. As the oldest of 7 children in a close, loving family, Sheryl was a role model for her siblings, a role she took seriously. So much so that she has been accused of being the city manager of the family. Sheryl was active during her high school years by holding student leadership roles and being part of the school newspaper and yearbook staff. Her summers were spent working as a lifeguard and swim instructor. Sheryl received a journalism scholarship to attend Ball State University, where she majored in journalism and political science. It was at Ball State that she met her husband, Michael. They were engaged during her junior year and married after graduating from college. Sheryl's career began as a research writer with the city of Kalamazoo, Michigan. After a couple of years, she was promoted to the city manager's office, working as an assistant and as a deputy city manager. Sheryl earned a master's degree in public administration from Western Michigan University during this time. After 10 years of rising through the ranks of city government, Sheryl competed for the Kalamazoo city manager position and was appointed. At 32 years old, she was the youngest and first woman to hold the position in the city's history, and at a time when she was one of only 5 female city managers in the U.S. in cities greater than 50,000 in population. Her children, Courtney and Colin, were born during her time as Kalamazoo city manager. After 5 years as Kalamazoo's city manager, the city of Phoenix recruited Sheryl as their deputy city manager, another female first. During her 16-year tenure in the number 2 position in that administration, Sheryl led numerous complicated projects and programs and became known as the go-to person at City Hall. She and her family also grew to love their desert city and its environment. In 2005, San Antonio recruiters approached Sheryl about the San Antonio city manager job. After turning down the initial offers, that spring, a newly elected mayor by the name of Phil Hardberger reached out to Sheryl, trying to convince her to join the San Antonio city government. Mayor Hardberger's persistence paid off, and in August 2005, Sheryl accepted the city manager position and signed a 2-year contract that was extended 5 times by subsequent city councils. 1 week after her appointment, Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast. Even though her official start date was 2 months away, Sheryl flew to San Antonio at her own expense to help with the recovery and evacuation efforts. Knowing this was her new home, she was compelled to immediately help.
One of the things that I have found interesting about Sheryl is how she is able to balance things. Now, there's no easy balance for a person that's the city manager, because the city manager has to work just about all the time.
And just like that, Sheryl took the lead in transforming and improving the city of San Antonio. During her 14-year tenure as city manager, she successfully managed the government organization assessing the talent, hiring, and promoting new executives, and getting the city's financial house in order. Sheryl and her new team set a goal to become one of the best financially managed cities in the country and achieved a AAA general obligation bond rating, a first in the city's history and one that has been consecutively reaffirmed for more than a decade and continuing today. Responsible for 13,000 city employees, Sheryl balanced the annual city budgets of nearly $3 billion without tax rate increases, while improving and expanding city services to more than 1 million city residents in one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the U.S. Sheryl led the development and management of 3 of San Antonio's largest infrastructure bond programs, totaling $2 billion for streets, drainage, parks, libraries, fire stations, and museums, and ensured their timely completion and within budget. City departments were reorganized and streamlined to enable skilled staff to provide the highest levels of service at least cost to the taxpayers. Working with Mayor Julian Castro, Sheryl and her team developed the business plan and implemented the San Antonio Pre-K for SA Early Childhood Education Program in partnership with the Pre-K Board of Directors. Sheryl worked on the sales tax renewal of the program by the voters in 2021, believing the key to the future success of San Antonio is better education. The highly effective and popular Pre-K program educates thousands of 4-year-old children annually, providing access to high-quality learning. And according to state statistics, Pre-K for SA students' academic performance is better than statewide averages, despite the fact that most Pre-K for SA students come from economically disadvantaged families.
One of the things that people don't know is how hard Sheryl and her staff worked to make Pre-K for SA go from an idea to a reality.
Sheryl was responsible for the San Antonio participation in the annual Women in World Summits in New York and San Antonio, and in bringing the Rock and Roll Marathon to San Antonio. As a lifelong United Way volunteer, she served on the San Antonio United Way Board and chaired the 2013 United Way campaign. Today, she continues to serve on the Texas Biomed Board and Early Matters Education Committee.
Everyone has their own point of view, but Sheryl was able to get the whole city to align around her direction. She was the best city manager in the country. That's been said 1,000 times, and it's completely true.
In her 45-year public service career, Sheryl is most proud of adding value to each community in which she has managed. She knows from experience that running the business of city government is especially challenging given the diffused power structure and ever-changing elected office holders. To accomplish great things, Sheryl believes in assembling an excellent team, giving people every opportunity to succeed, learning from mistakes, being innovative, and most importantly, working with integrity.
I don't think anyone can argue that Sheryl's passion for public service, her unique prowess, her cool manner, and extraordinary leadership skills have helped forge San Antonio into the robust and modern city it is today.
Sheryl's parents were her greatest mentors. Their expectations were high. Get good grades and strive to be the best at everything you do. Her dad gave her some valuable advice as she was advancing in her career. Always hire people who are smarter than you and find the right seat for them. She followed that advice and retired from the city, leaving outstanding successor leadership.
Sheryl opened up a world for San Antonio. She certainly opened up my world as to what all could be done. And that's her lasting legacy to San Antonio.
Sheryl's pride and joy are her children, Courtney and Colin, who she refers to as smart, loving, and kind human beings. Her husband, Michael, has always been her biggest supporter. Sheryl is not all work and no play. She's a marathon runner, wine enthusiast, and enjoys boating, golf, and traveling with Mike and her family and friends.
One of the many things I have admired about Sheryl, though, is that no matter the weight on her shoulders, she is always present, always dependable, readily available to transform into any role, whether it may be city manager, polished diplomat, dedicated friend, fun wife, cool mom, loyal sister, and her loving daughter. She's pretty incredible.
When asked about the lessons she will pass on to her future grandchildren, Sheryl will encourage them to always work hard, complete their education, step outside their comfort zones to tackle new adventures, and always give back to the community. For her vision of all that San Antonio can be, her commitment to excellence and leadership with integrity and innovation, Junior Achievement of South Texas proudly inducts Sheryl Sculley into the 2022 San Antonio Business Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Sheryl Sculley.
Let's give Kenley another round of applause. Wow. She was quite impressive. Well, thank you for this recognition. I know I'm the last person between you and the exit door, so I'm going to try to be kind of quick here. I was given strict instructions that you wanted to leave by 9 o'clock, right, Craig? Okay, so I am honored to be inducted into the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame, and let me begin by adding my congratulations to Mary Rose. I just wish she was here tonight. And Walter, congratulations to both of them. I want to thank you and say love to my family. My husband, Mike, of 47 years. I have you beat there, Walter, a little bit. Our son, Colin, and his wife, Amanda, who are here tonight. Our daughter, Courtney, who lives and works in San Francisco, couldn't be here this evening, but I know she is here in spirit and, of course, had a card and a letter at the table when I arrived tonight. So I know she and Matt are thinking about us. My thanks to our other table guests and dear friends, Sonia Medina and Jean Williams, Alan and Cindy Giroux, AJ and Estelle Rodriguez. Thank you so much for being here. Teamwork, professionalism, integrity, and innovation, excellence in all that we do. Our City of San Antonio core values. What I was most excited about when I was called about this is the deep appreciation, junior achievement, and the members of the selection committee who have been mentioned for their understanding and recognizing the business acumen and experience necessary to lead and manage a big city government. I'm a practitioner, professor, and advocate for professional city management, and in the council manager form of government, elected officials are able to focus on their constituencies and vision, and then leave the rest of the business operations up to the professional managers. As you may remember, back in 2005, newly elected city council led by Mayor Hardberger recruited me to overhaul city government. No small task, and I know Richard Pettis is here tonight, and he was part of that process, as were Tracy and Nelson Wolf in getting me to come to San Antonio. Assess talent and make changes, get the financial house in order, improve city services and civic confidence and trust in city government, and develop the biggest bond programs in the city's history. No small task. Working closely with the mayor and city council and the community, we did these things and much more. It took a tremendous amount of talent to achieve the results, proof and performance, as I frequently would remind my staff. So tonight I share this recognition with the talented city team we worked so hard to build. Several of them are here tonight, and I want to mention Deputy City Manager Maria Villagomez and Assistant City Manager Lori Houston, and Caitlin Crobot from the city, who, when I was there in the city manager's office, she's been promoted since I left, which is great. City Manager Eric Walsh is in Florida at the Large Cities Executive Forum. He called me to say he wished he could have been here. But I want to say kudos to these leaders and the entire executive leadership team for the outstanding work that they have done, especially these past 2 years during the pandemic and the winter storm. I'm so proud of them. I also want to thank the 47 city council members with whom I served during my 14-year tenure as city manager, including mayors Hardberger, Castro, Taylor, and Nierenberg. They supported and encouraged the changes we made, and together we were able to implement policies, programs, and projects to improve the quality of life for our residents. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve San Antonio and lead the city government organization. That is, minus the calls from Randy Beamer and the, and the endless interviews about every city hall happening. Just kidding, Randy. In her book entitled Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg says, "Leadership is about making others better by your presence and ensuring the impact lasts in your absence." I hope you agree that the talent, financial discipline, the many changes that were made continue today, and that continuous improvement is now the norm. Now, despite our many successes, being city manager wasn't always a bed of roses. You may have noticed that a few times in the media. I do want to say tonight, because there are so many business community representatives here, thank you for your support on the many issues that we tackled together. We didn't always agree, but we were able to reach consensus and move the city forward. And I'm still working with many of you, as was mentioned in the video, on some of the city's greatest needs: early childhood education, biomedical research at Texas Biomed, United Way, musical bridges around the world, the San Antonio Report, Greater SATX, and Texas 2036 as we prepare for the state's bicentennial. Finally, to our very impressive young people who are here tonight, I'm almost embarrassed that I'm using notes having watched these kids tonight. I say congratulations to all of them for their participation in junior achievement. And know this: there are no entitlements. You must work hard, be the go-to person in your class, school, or job, and step outside of your comfort zone and try something new. And if you fail, pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and overcome the obstacles. Who knows? One of you could be a future city manager. Whatever you choose, I have no doubt that the young people we've heard from tonight are well on their way to future success. I do, and finally, want to say thank you to Janie Cook and the staff at Junior Achievement for facilitating all it takes to put one of these events together, and the months of planning and preparation and hounding of we laureates for photos and information. And thank the Junior Achievement Board, the selection committee, and my friend Craig Boyan, who has chaired the board for so long. Thank you all so much. I am truly honored to be inducted into the San Antonio Business Hall of Fame.
Sure. I asked her to stay for just a second because I had a quick question or two for her before she leaves. So, do you miss it? That being the focus of all the media stuff?
No. I do miss my colleagues. I miss the work. I confess, I don't miss all those city council meetings.
And very importantly as well, what's the name of your book?
Do I say this in front of the children? Greedy Bastards. One city's Texas-sized struggle to avoid a financial crisis.
And what's the next book?
Yet to be named.
Yet to be named. Yeah. Okay. And are you having a great time now that you don't have to deal with those greedy bastards in the media as well?
We're enjoying ourselves, but I have to say, I still have my foot in San Antonio. We're involved in so many things here and have so many dear friends, and I think this will always be home to me.
Give her a hand. Thank you very much for all of this, and you deserve it. Congratulations. And by the way, she is a personal friend, I am told, of David Letterman, right? Ball State. And the husband? Is the husband here? Okay, so you had the mustache back then? And she had the hair. Did you notice how they stuck on the video at the beginning of the hair? I had that same hair. All right, she was talking about presenters. Let's bring out the presenters. But first, we would like to end with Michaela Alvarado, again, the 11th grade student at Marshall Law and Medical Services High School. You heard her earlier. Michaela Alvarado.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. And my faith is shaken, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side. The climb, the struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking, and I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Just gotta keep going. Gotta be strong and just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michaela Alvarado, 11th grader. Want to bring out all the presenters tonight. Weren't they all outstanding? Kenley, Evan, Olivia, Kristen, Michaela. Let's give them a big round of applause. And been a wonderful evening. Please Drive safely. Thank you for supporting Junior Achievement. Thank you and good night.